I walk into the party thinking it's love. I swear I do. There are balloons brushing the ceiling and a cake big enough for a wedding. People I haven't seen in years clap like they've rehearsed it. My daughter, Rowan, is everywhere at once. Smiling, hugging, guiding people toward me like I'm the reason they showed up. For a second, I let myself believe it. The room smells like cheap champagne and lemon cleaner. That combination sticks in my throat. I don't know why that's the detail my body keeps. But it does. My name is Delphine Ward, 67 years old. Calvin is beside me. He's been beside me for decades. He's steady, always has been. Which is why I notice immediately when his hand tightens around my arm. Not a squeeze, a grip. The kind that says, pay attention. He doesn't look at me at first. His eyes stay forward. Pretend you fainted, he says. I almost laugh. It sounds ridiculous, dramatic, like something out of a bad movie. Then I look at his face. Calvin is pale. His jaw is locked. His hand is shaking. I have seen this man carry grief, debt, and exhaustion without blinking. I have never seen him scared like this. He leans closer, his mouth barely moving. Look under the table. I don't bend all the way, just enough. Enough to see. A folder, thick, manila, clean edges, tucked carefully between chair legs like it belongs there, like someone placed it with intention. My name is printed on the front. So is Calvin's. I don't open it. I don't touch it. I don't need to. Something cold spreads through my stomach. Slow and certain. The kind of knowing that arrives before words. Across the room, Rowan raises her glass. She's smiling at me. I smile back because I don't know what else to do. In that moment, everything shifts. I am no longer a guest at my daughter's party. I am the reason it exists. And Calvin is still holding my arm, like he's afraid if he lets go. I won't move fast enough when the time comes. I slide my foot forward and nudge the folder like it might bite. It doesn't move much. Heavy. Someone packed it. I read the words upside down. I don't even have to squint. Assisted living. Capacity evaluation. Durable power of attorney. I see my name. Calvin's. Clean print. No hesitation. Then Rowan's name. Then Ethan's. Boxes waiting for signatures like open mouths. The music's loud, but my head goes quiet, like someone cut the static. All the noise pulls away and leaves this one thing sitting there. Patient. I smell roast beef and something metallic. Maybe it's the forks. Maybe it's fear. I can't tell anymore. Calvin's knee presses against mine. A warning. Stay still. Rowan laughs at something across the room and starts moving toward our table. She's got that practiced walk. Confident. Like she already knows the ending. I look up just in time to catch her eyes. She smiles too long. Not warm, measured. The smile you give when you're checking to see if a door locked. She knows I've seen it. That's the worst part. Not the papers. Not the words. The fact that she waited for me to notice. Like this was a test I was supposed to fail quietly. She stops behind my chair and rests a hand on my shoulder. Light, possessive. Mom, she says. Soft enough for the people nearest us. Are you feeling okay? I nod. Too fast. I'm fine, I say. My voice doesn't shake. That surprises me. Ethan appears on her other side holding 2 glasses. He sets one down in front of me like a peace offering. Drink some water, he says. You've been standing a lot. Calvin speaks before I can. She's good. Ethan smiles at Calvin. Tight. A smile that doesn't reach anywhere important. Just looking out for her, he says. Rowan squeezes my shoulder once. Then let's go. Power move. Claim made. She steps back and raises her glass again, calling for attention. I stay seated. I keep my hands in my lap. I don't touch the folder. Because I understand something now. This isn't about helping us. It's about deciding for us. And they've already started. Have you ever realized someone planned your future without bothering to ask if you wanted it? Calvin leans in and murmurs, "Don't drink anymore. Just nod. Just breathe." His voice is steady, which tells me everything. Rowan taps her glass. The room quiets like it's trained to. "I just want everyone to know," she says, smiling. "This night is about safety, about doing what's best." She looks at me when she says best, holds it there. People clap, not loud, polite. That part still stings more than the papers. Ethan slides closer to the table. He keeps shifting his weight, like he's guarding something, or someone. He says, "We've all talked about this." Right, Calvin answers before I do. "We haven't." Rowan laughs lightly. "Dad, you always say that." I say, "I don't remember talking about it either." She tilts her head. "That's what worries me." "Mom," a man I don't know stands near the cake. Clean suit, no food. Hands folded around a slim folder like it's an extension of him. He nods at Rowan. She nods back. Small, efficient. Ethan hands me another glass. "Hydrate," he says. Calvin puts his hand over mine. "She's fine." Rowan steps closer. "You've been forgetting things." I forget names sometimes. I say, "I'm not broken." She lowers her voice. "No one said broken." Ethan adds, "This is preventative." I hear it then. The shape of it. The way the room is positioned. Chairs angled. People close enough to hear, far enough to judge. If I explode, I'm confused. If I cry, I'm fragile. If I say no, I'm difficult. Calvin whispers, "Play along." I nod. I hate that I nod. Rowan smiles, relieved. See, she understands. And just like that, the room isn't mine anymore. Be honest, how many times have you agreed just to stop everyone from staring? I look at Rowan standing there with the glass in her hand, and my brain does this stupid thing where it runs backward instead of forward. I see her at 12, leaning on the counter, asking for more allowance, more freedom, more chances, always more. She had a way of asking that made no feel like cruelty. I smell the river when I think of those years. Mud, heat, that damp savanna air that never really leaves your clothes. Calvin and I were tired all the time back then. We worked extra shifts, picked up weekends, told ourselves we'd rest later. Rowan would say, "Everyone else's parents let them." Calvin would look at me. I'd sigh. "Okay, just this once." Just this once happened a lot. At 15, she wanted a better phone. At 18, she wanted help with tuition. At 25, she needed help with a down payment. We gave what we had, sometimes what we didn't. Calvin used to say, "We're setting her up," I said. That's what good parents do. Standing here now, I'm not sure where that line bent. I'm not sure when support turned into expectation, or when love started feeling like leverage. Rowan taps her glass again. Louder this time. "I just want to say," she begins, "how grateful Ethan and I are that Mom and Dad raised me to value responsibility." Responsibility. That word lands wrong. She looks straight at me. "Everything we're doing comes from love," Calvin mutters. "Then stop doing it." A few people laugh, thinking it's a joke. Rowan doesn't. She keeps smiling. "Dad, please, this isn't the time." I feel something tighten in my chest. Not fear, not yet. Something closer to regret. I raised her to speak confidently, to take space, to believe she was right. I didn't teach her what no sounds like when it comes from me. Rowan lifts her glass higher. "To family," she says. "Everyone raises theirs. I don't. Did you ever look at your kid and think, when did I lose control of this? I rewind the last 6 months like a bad habit I can't quit." Rowan started calling more. Not the rushed kind, the sit and listen kind. "Mom, I was thinking about you." She'd say, "I remember telling Calvin." "See, she cares." He didn't answer. She offered to drive me to the doctor. Sat too close in the exam room. Smiled at the nurse like she was auditioning. On the way home, she laughed and said, "Mom, what day is it, sweet voice?" "Too sweet," I told her. She nodded, like she was checking a box. Another time she said, "You forget things sometimes. It's normal." I said, "Everyone forgets things." She said, "Exactly." Ethan started showing up with folders. Never opened them. Just place them on the table. "We'll look later," he'd say. Later turned into urgent, real fast. Deadlines, he'd say. Forms expire. I asked what the forms were for. "Planning," he said. "Just planning." Calvin watched all of it quietly. Then one night I couldn't find the house papers. "I moved them," he said. "Why?" "Because I don't like how they ask," I snapped at him. "You're being paranoid." He looked tired. "I hope I am. I wish I'd apologized. I didn't." Rowan brought groceries we didn't ask for, clean drawers I didn't tell her to open. "It's easier this way," she said. Easier for who? Calvin bought a small lockbox. Didn't tell me at first. "I found it in the closet." "You don't trust our own daughter," I asked. "I trust patterns," he said. "That one's on me." I wanted calm. I wanted family dinners without tension. I wanted to stop feeling like the difficult one. So I handed them access to my calendar, my appointments, my habits, and they took notes. "What's the dumbest red flag you ever ignored because you wanted peace?" Rowan doesn't hesitate. She reaches under the table and pulls the folder out like it's been waiting for its cue. She slides the papers in front of Calvin and me. Public, clean, straightened, a performance. "This is our gift to you," she says. Loud enough for the table beside us to hear. Gift. I swear my ears ring when she says it. "You'll thank us later," she adds. Smiling like she's being generous. Like she's already forgiven us for whatever reaction we're about to have. Ethan steps in smoothly. He points, not touching, just hovering over the pages. "This takes pressure off you," he says. "No more worrying about liability, property taxes, medical decisions." He looks around the table. "It's responsible," Calvin says. "You don't get to decide that." Rowan exhales like a patient parent. "Dad, please don't make this harder than it needs to be." I finally speak. "You planned this." She meets my eyes. "We prepared." There's a difference. "For who?" I ask. Ethan answers instead. "For everyone." Forks stop clinking. Someone coughs. No one moves. The whole room leans in without meaning to. Rowan taps the page where my name is printed. "This just makes things official." "I'm sitting right here," I say. She nods. "Exactly." Calvin pushes the papers back an inch. Not far, just enough to be noticed. "We're not signing anything tonight." Rowan's smile tightens. "No one said tonight." That lands hard. I feel the room waiting for me to calm things down, waiting for me to be reasonable, waiting for me to play the role they already assigned. Silence stretches. It starts to feel heavy, like if I don't fill it, something bad will happen. Rowan watches me closely now. Not her daughter look, her manager look. I realize then what the silence is doing. It's not empty, it's pressure, and it's all on me, if everyone's watching. "Do you still say no?" Calvin says one word, quiet, sharp. "Now." I don't think, if I think, I'll freeze. I let my knees buckle like someone cut a wire. My hand slips off the table. Glass tips. Liquid splashes. Someone screams, high and fast. The room smells like spilled wine and panic. I hear Rowan say my name, not scared, possessive. Mom Calvin's arms are already under me. Solid, familiar. He lifts like he's done this 1,000 times. Maybe he has, just not like this. Give her space. Someone says, "I'm calling an ambulance." Another voice says, Ethan steps in front of Calvin, hands up, helpful smile. "Let me," he says. "I've got her." Calvin doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't rush. "No," he says, "just that." No explanation. Ethan reaches anyway. Calvin turns his shoulder and blocks him clean. It's not aggressive. It's final. I'm her husband, Calvin says. Move! Rowan's heels click closer. I feel her shadow before I hear her. Dad! Stop, she says. You're making this worse. Calvin keeps walking. You did that, he says. We're moving. Fast now. Chairs scrape. Someone knocks over a purse. I hear glass break. I keep my body loose. Heavy. Trusting him to hold me, Rowan's voice cracks. She needs a hospital. Calvin answers without looking back. She needs air. We pass the door. Cold rushes in. Night sounds. My head clears just enough to know this is working. Outside. Someone grabs Calvin's arm. Sir? He stops. Turns. Looks straight at them. She fainted. He says, I'm taking my wife home. No one argues. No one knows how. The door closes behind us. The noise drops. Just breath. Just footsteps. I open my eyes for half a second. Calvin's jaw is tight. Focused. Alive. Control snaps back so hard it almost hurts. And for the first time all night, I believe we might actually get out. Would you rather look crazy or be trapped forever? The night air hits me the second the door closes. Wet, heavy. Georgia air that sticks to your skin. I gasp like I've been underwater. I open my eyes in the car. Streetlights blur past. I know these turns, and then I don't. We're not going to the ER, I say. Calvin keeps his eyes on the road. No. My voice breaks. Calvin, stop. She's scared. Rowan's scared. She should be. He says. I push myself upright. My hands are shaking now. The adrenaline's wearing off and the fear's showing up late. Rude as hell. She's my daughter? I say. You can't just... He cuts me off. She's not your little girl right now. Gee. That lands harder than anything tonight. I cry then. Not pretty. Loud. I say Rowan's name like if I say it enough, it'll fix something. Calvin doesn't tell me to stop. He just drives faster. The car turns again. Fluorescent lights buzz ahead. The bus station. I smell diesel before we even park. What are we doing here? I ask. Calvin pulls in and kills the engine. Leaving. With what I gesture at myself. My dress. My empty hands. We don't have anything. We have enough. He says. Inside. The lights hum. A woman behind the counter looks bored. Tired. Safe. Where to? She asks. Calvin scans the board. What leaves next Jacksonville? 15 minutes. 2 tickets. He says. Cash out. No hesitation. I stare at him. We didn't plan this. He meets my eyes. That's why it works. We sit on plastic chairs. No bags at our feet. No plan in my head. Just the sound of engines and people who don't know us. My phone vibrates. Rowan's name lights up the screen. Calvin covers my hand. Not now. I turn it off. Something inside me snaps into place. Not calm, not brave, just ready. Survival mode. What would you leave behind if staying meant losing yourself? The motel room smells like stale soap and old carpet. One lamp flickers like it's tired of pretending. Calvin locks the door without saying anything. That sound click does something to my chest. We sit on the bed and spread the papers out between us. No ceremony, no hesitation. We read everything. Every page, every clause. Every clean lie printed in polite language. Assisted living, cognitive decline, temporary authority that wasn't temporary at all. My name everywhere. Their names everywhere too. Lines waiting for signatures like traps with smiles. They were close, Calvin says. His voice is flat. Too close. The lawyer confirms it the next morning. He's quiet, careful with his words, doesn't need to say much. If you'd signed, he says, it would have been very hard to undo. How hard, I ask. He pauses. Very. That's enough. Back at the motel, I sit on the edge of the bed and stare at my hands. They look older here. Veins louder, knuckles stiff. I need to do something. I say. Calvin nods. What I shrug. Anything. I find a thrift store down the road and buy a used sewing machine. Smells like dust and oil. I set it up on the small desk. My fingers hesitate for a second. Then they move. They remember before my heart does. Stitch, pull, turn. The rhythm comes back like muscle memory, like breathing. I don't think, I just do. Calvin takes whatever work he can find. Night shifts, early mornings. No pride involved. Just motion. Our phones stay off. Rowan calls. Ethan too. Messages pile up somewhere I don't want to look. Not yet. Calvin says when he sees me reach for mine. I nod. Maybe never. The days get smaller, quieter, harder in some ways, lighter in others. We don't have much. But what we have is ours. A small life. Chosen. I lie awake that night, staring at the ceiling, listening to the hum of traffic outside. Is starting over at this age brave? Or just stubborn? I hear what happened after we left. Not from them, from other people. Voices that don't sound proud when they talk about it. There were fights. Loud ones. Rowan blaming Ethan. Ethan blaming Rowan. Each saying the other pushed too hard, moved too fast. The party everyone thought was beautiful turned into a story people lowered their voices for. Embarrassment travels faster than apologies. I don't feel victory. I feel tired, Calvin tells me. You don't owe them anything. Some days I believe him. Other days I nod just to end the sentence. Some nights I miss Rowan. Or maybe I miss the version of her I kept in my head. The kid who used to sit on the counter and swing her legs while I cooked. That girl feels real. The woman who slid papers across a table feels like someone else. Other nights I sleep fine. Deep. Heavy. No dreams. That scares me too. The place we're in now is quiet. It smells like coffee in the morning and fabric dust by afternoon. The sewing machine hums. Calvin comes home tired and honest. We eat. We talk about nothing important. Sometimes that's enough. My phone stays face down. Messages sit unread. Rowan's name still hits my chest when I see it light up. I haven't decided what happens if she calls again. I haven't decided if love means reopening the door or keeping it shut, Calvin says. You can choose later, I say. What if later never comes? He shrugs. Then this was still the right choice. Here's what I know now. Being someone's mother doesn't mean handing over your life. Love isn't supposed to feel like pressure. If someone needs you smaller, quieter, or confused to stay in control, that's not care. That's ownership. I'm still deciding. And maybe I always will be. If this story hits something in you, sit with it, talk about it. Share it with someone who needs permission to choose themselves. That's all I have to offer.